Hello, my nurses, future and current and whatever. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. I appreciate it so much, okay? But let's get on to the video. Now, if you clicked on this video, it's because you're either a nurse thinking about being a nurse or like is in the process of becoming a nurse. And kudos to you. Good for you. You the real one. You the real MVP, okay? Cuz not everybody can be a nurse. Not everybody can do this lifestyle, honey. I swear, like, before I really got into nursing, I was just so happy to think about helping people and, you know, just being that person that could help somebody and save somebody's life maybe. But boy, now that I'm in it, let's just say it was easier to judge, okay? When you're on the outside, let's say you're a patient or let's say you're a family of a patient, it's so easy to judge that nurse and say, oh, that nurse only been in this room twice since I've been here. And I don't feel like she's giving me the best care. And I don't feel like she's doing this. And, you know, whatever negative comments you may have to say about your nurse or your family's nurse or your friend's nurse, and I just want to say, everybody's opinion is valid, okay? Nobody's right, nobody's wrong, okay? There are some nurses who I feel like shouldn't be in the healthcare field, you know? I feel like maybe they copped out on their dreams and they just fell on nursing and they just trying to make it happen, you know? But there are some people who chose this life and went to school for this life. Y'all hear my phone? Excuse that, okay? And, you know, really dedicated themselves, dedicated their nights off to studying. You know, anybody who's seen my previous videos know how hard it was for me to just pass the Nclex. So, I understand, honey. But, like, it was so easy for me to be like, oh, this person's not a good nurse, or this person's not trying their best to be a good nurse, or they're letting things slip off. But now that I'm on the other side, baby, if I'm in your room at least 5 times in my 12-hour shift, I was doing the damn thing, okay? I didn't realize, I'm going to say that again. I didn't realize the workload of a nurse, especially if you on a med-surg floor, especially if you have 7 patients or more. What the fuck? Y'all, that workload. Like, I have to clock in at least by 6:38, 6:45. After 6:45, you're late. I don't care what you said, you're late. Okay? I have to clock in at least by 6:38, right? I have to be at work at least by 6 o'clock so I can really get the valid information on these patients. Because if you think you're going to roll in there at 6:38 and try to get information that you need on your patient in order to give valid good care, you out your goddamn mind, okay? You are out of it, okay? Unless you are that experienced pro nurse, all you need is 5 minutes looking up each patient, then you know you're good, you're Gucci. But I'm brand new in this game, and that's not enough. And yes, people like, damn, 6 o'clock, you can't clock in at 6:38. You there for 38 minutes and you're not getting paid? It be like that. I'd rather sacrifice that 38 minutes and be on my game than to come in there and not know enough and then these doctors just gonna chew your ass out, okay? And it's not that they want to chew you out, but you look like you don't know what you're doing. You sound like you don't know what you're talking about. And they just gonna devour you. Okay? But if you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, when they're talking to you, like when they say how's their patient doing, and all you got to say is, oh, I think they're okay. Last time I went there to get their meds, I didn't see any signs, if that's how you're gonna talk to them, just hang it up. Don't even bother. You see that doctor coming, just walk away. Because you're gonna sound inexperienced. And some doctors will take your inability to sound experienced as in you don't care. And when you sound like you don't care, they're gonna treat you like they don't care. And you don't want that. That's embarrassing. And let's pray to God it doesn't happen in front of the patient. Because not only does a doctor lose respect in you, your patient gonna follow. Your patient gonna lose respect in you too. FY. Yeah. It can get real. It can get real. And my best advice I can give to a brand new nurse is do your research. Okay? Do your research. And I'm not saying, bring books with you and all that good stuff. No. Your hospital or wherever you work, you should provide some type of research material that you can just click on online. For us, where we work at, it's Lippincott. We have Lippincott procedures. And if you're unsure about anything, whether it's how to give blood, how to give an IV, what's the proper way to clean and, redress an IV, go to your policies and procedures page on your computer. You should have some type of way you can, access it. And if you don't know, please get with your preceptor, get with your nurse manager, get with somebody who's been there a while. They'll show you, okay? Because you don't want to do something wrong. You don't want to miss a step and then it all falls on you. You don't want them kind of problems. You don't want them kind of problems. Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of why I even decided to make this video, which is I have to be honest, like what I thought nursing was versus what nursing really is. It caused me to go into a slight depression. I didn't even admit this to anyone. I think I called my mom a couple of times just out of it. Like sad, emotional, questioning myself. Yes. Last week and a little bit of this week, I don't know who I am. I'm going to be quite honest with you. And I'm so thankful that I had 2 days off. I was able to regroup, who I am. Because, like, things come at you so fast, it's hard to accommodate. It's hard to get acquainted. And I wanted to be a nurse for so long that I thought I was going to be okay. I thought I was going to accommodate well. I thought I was going to get acquainted real well. And like my preceptor tells me, stop trying to be a perfect nurse and just be the best nurse. And it's funny because when he first told me that, I was thinking about like, the fuck? Perfect nurse, best nurse. It didn't make sense to me, but I am a perfectionist and I do want to do things the right way every time, and I want to be prompt and I want to be on it. I want my patients to feel like I care. I want the doctors to know that I know, and I just don't want no patient dying on my shift and I could have prevented it. That is like my biggest fear. It's like I don't want nobody kicking the bucket that is not supposed to. And I know I'm not God. I can't save everybody, but there are deaths that could have been prevented. Okay? there are some deaths, yes, you cannot prevent it. When God calls them home, God calling them home, okay? But if you give a TPN running with something else, and you know TPNs are not supposed to run with anything else, you caused that. You, the nurse, should have caught that, you know? And God forbid the patient dies from that, you're in trouble. I don't ever want that to happen to me. So I get so strict on myself that I don't let myself breathe. I put so much stress on myself that I can't be the best nurse. I'm too busy trying to be a perfect nurse. And that's not what it's called. You can try to be perfect years down the line. But when you're trying to learn how to be a nurse, that's not the time to try to be perfect. It's like learning how to play a new video game. At that time that you turn on that video game to the time you see your first fighting scene or whatever, you know, you're just trying to learn how to pass the stage or pass that level. You know, you learning how to B button work, how the X button work. You learning how the back buttons, what they do. You're not learning how to be perfect. You're not learning how to get all 5 stars on that first level. No, you're just trying to beat that first level and then make it to the next level. Now, my problem was, or my problem still is that I am trying to get all 5 stars in the very first level. I am literally trying to hit the ground running and don't even got no damn sneakers on. I'm trying to do all these things, and that's not called of me. What is called of me is to learn. Learn. I've learned ABCs in school. Now to learn ABCs and put it actually towards a situation, towards a patient. I've learned about IV fluids, but now I have to put it in practice, okay? If this person has hyponatremia, why the hell am I giving them hypotonic fluids? If they had hypernatremia, then I can give them hypotonic fluids, as in normal saline, as in half normal saline. You know, it's like all these things come to practice. And that was my problem. And that's why I was getting so frustrated and so stressed out. Like, honestly, when I was in clinicals, I maybe put an IV one time. One time. I maybe managed a pump twice. So imagine how I feel trying to manage a pump, put an IV in. Now, my mind is blown. And then when I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, I just want to drop it and just let my preceptor step in. And my preceptor's looking at me like, you was doing it. What's the problem? Why you just stop? And why you let the patient see you stop and get frustrated? If you have a question about something, you feel like you're not doing it right, just stop what you're doing. Tell the patient, I'll be right back. And then you can go get somebody. But don't just stop right in the middle of what you're doing. And the patient's looking at you, the patient's family's looking at you, and you just look like you caught a deer in the headlight. Like, you don't want to be that. You don't want to do that. So I was in a slight depression, and I'm finally starting to get out of it, and I'm so thankful of my preceptor. Like, he's the bomb. I wish I could just say his name, but you know, that's violating his privacy. That's violating hospital protocol. So I'm just gonna shut up. But I just wanna, if he's ever watching any of my videos, I don't even think he knows that I'm on YouTube. I just want to tell him thank you Thank you so much for believing in me, for giving me that extra push, for telling me that I can do it. Like, he has no idea how powerful those words can be to somebody who doesn't know their true potential. And I'm getting teary-eyed. It's like, I know I'm good, but I don't know how good I am. And it's like, I let fear and, ooh, y'all. I let fear and, I wouldn't say insecurity. Oh, what the hell? Insecurity kick in, and it's like, I let it become a roadblock when it should just be a speed bump. A roadblock means you're not going nowhere. That thing is stopping you dead in your tracks, and you can't see left and you can't see right because you're just blocked off. Now, a speed bump, you just got to slow down. A speed bump means you just got to slow down, but you'll get through it. You'll get right over it, right? You just don't want to go through a speed bump speeding. Speed bump is there to just slow your roll. Yeah, so nursing has been scary. It has been stressful. It has been eye-opening. It has been rewarding. There has been some great times. Like, there have been times I went to work and I just came back smiling. And like, we have this we have like these cards in the patient's room where, like, if they feel like the nurse or the doctor or whoever, CNA, did something worth telling them thank you for, they can write it on the card and give it to you. And I had this patient who just wanted something to drink so bad, but they weren't my patient. And I called their nurse to tell them they wanted something to drink, but it was like, it had to been thickened. It had to be with nectar or something like that, because they can't swallow just clear fluids, because they have aspiration problems or whatever. And it's just like, I called that nurse and she was like, well, I'm not going to be able to get there in time. And like, this patient's family kept coming out to ask about these fluids. So I just got it, mixed it up for them, and I said, here you go, have something to drink or whatever. And like, that patient's family was so grateful to me that they got the card and wrote, thank you for taking care of us even though we're not even your patient. See, stuff like that, little stuff like that. If you're a sentimental kind of person, if you're also a nurse, little stuff like that makes it all worth it. It makes those early mornings and late nights and talking to doctors and having to look up reports and talking to transport, talking to teles, having to understand what an EKG really looks like in person, like not just in class and all that. Like, oh my goodness, what signs to look for and when to call the doctor, how to call the doctor, what to say when you call the doctor. Like, I'm learning a lot. Let's just say my expectations are not meeting up with my reality, and it's stressing me the hell out. Okay? So, guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Okay? I'm going to make, my next video is going to be on how to communicate to the doctor. I think that's very important, and I had to learn the hard way how to communicate. And when I didn't communicate correctly, that doctor handed me my behind. Okay, and it was embarrassing, and I refuse to let that happen to me again. So I'm going to make my next video for nursing is going to be about how to communicate to the doctor, when to communicate to the doctor, and what to communicate to the doctor. Okay, look out for that one, guys. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope I didn't look like a punk crying, well, having my misty eye situation. Okay. All right, y'all, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay lovely, stay beautiful, save lives, y'all. Save it. Bye.